Right now at 5, a beloved Joplin pizzeria says goodbye to the community as it closes its doors.
And we've still got heat advisories out there, dangerous heat across the area once again today. There is relief on the way and some rain chances. We'll talk about that in the forecast coming up.
Also, a house in Webb City continues to be demolished as it's cleared for a Popeyes.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Amber Jenkins.
I'm Chris Warner. So we've got another muggy start out there this morning. It was pushing 80 degrees when I left the house. We'll continue to cool back eventually to our overnight low in the upper 70s, and we're going to turn around and get hot once again today.
Once again.
Yeah, we've got more heat advisories out there again today as well. So let's take a look where those are. They're almost the same places. They've been trimmed a little further south. And they still have the same expiration times as yesterday, 7, 8, and 9 p.m. And this is for heat index values of 105 to 110. We also have the possibility of some strong storms later this evening into the overnight that could bring some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds for some of us. So as we go through the day, we're going to see increasing cloud cover. We're also going to see an opportunity, as you can see, for isolated to widely scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two out there. As you can see with the temperatures, it doesn't do much for us in terms of the temperatures, in terms of making them any better, but it does at least bring a few of us some rain showers. It won't be until overnight tonight, here we are at 1 a.m., that we'll actually see a little more organized shower and thunderstorm activity. And right now, this is looking to be our best window for some stronger storms. Now, these showers and even a couple of thunderstorms could hold on as we begin our Thursday, and we could see a couple more as we head into Thursday afternoon as well, and a couple of those could be on the strong side. After that, though, they will clear on out of here. So talking about Thursday, here's that, again, a low wind risk across parts of the area for some stronger storms. And we have a very low wind risk, just barely clipping some of us for Friday as well for maybe a strong storm or two. Right now in Joplin, it is partly cloudy, 84, feels like 87. This is the first morning that we have had a heat index at 5 a.m. Dew point 68, humidity is 58%, but we have a nice gusty breeze. It's not doing much for us, but from the south-southwest, gusting up to 24. Temperatures around the region are warm. A little cooler up north, 71 Iola, 72 Fort Scott, 74 Pittsburgh, 79 in Chetopa, 84 Miami, 86 Veneta, 82 Carthage, 81 Neosho and Anderson. As we get our morning started, we should be partly cloudy, going into the low 90s once again by late morning, and highs today pushing upper 90s right around 100 degrees. Again, we'll see increasing clouds. We'll be mostly cloudy across the majority of the area, and again, we'll see a few isolated showers out there, but we're not anticipating anything too crazy. A few more isolated to scattered showers through the evening, mostly cloudy. A couple of thunderstorms, as we mentioned, overnight, going back once again into the upper 70s. We'll go mid-90s tomorrow, but then if this all pans out the way we're hoping, take a look at Friday. Temperatures have been scaled back a bit into the upper 70s for highs, but it is short-lived. We start warming back up through the weekend, and as we kick off the next work week, triple digits return to the forecast. Amber?
Thank you, Chris. A Tuesday night crash in Lawrence County, Missouri turns fatal. Troopers say a 1983 Ford 250 traveled off the road, overcorrected, and struck a 2013 Dodge Grand Caravan head-on. The driver of the 250 and juvenile passenger of the Caravan were pronounced dead at the scene. The driver and a passenger of the Caravan were flown to a hospital in Springfield with serious injuries. A Galena man is behind bars in connection to alleged drug charges. On Thursday, Cherokee County authorities arrested 44-year-old Caleb Hilton. A warrant was issued for his arrest. Authorities say he's been a subject of an investigation into the distribution of methamphetamine in Cherokee County. There has been no word on what charges Hilton faced yet. Authorities respond to reports of a boat crash on I-44. The crash happened on Tuesday around 3:30 in the afternoon in the westbound lanes of I-44 near exit 22. Troopers say a westbound pickup hauling a boat and a trailer left the roadway and went through a guardrail. Cartridge fire managed to pull the boat onto the shoulder. About 100 feet of guardrail and 15 posts were destroyed. A number of people were transported to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A new Missouri law requires health insurance companies to pay the full cost of diagnostic breast imaging. Under the new law, patients won't have to pay a copay or deductible. Governor Mike Parsons signed the bill that would take effect on January 1st next year. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, the breast cancer is the second most common cancer among women in the United States. In Missouri, for every 100,000 women, 123 new breast cancer cases were reported in 2020.
I like to make sure I have enough images, so yes, a lot. I mean, Dr. Cito's incredible will also be 3D.
Okay, that's definitely so cool. All right. Yeah, it was super sad was a lot of times because
Doctors recommend annual mammograms for women age 40 and above. Early detection of breast cancer not only improves pre-diagnosis, but also provides a wider range of treatment options. The mayor of Galena, Kansas responds to some citizens' allegations of police misconduct in the city. The council on Monday night heard from 2 Galena citizens with complaints. They claim Galena police don't treat everyone equally and claims officers have unfairly harassed specific individuals or families. One citizen claimed an officer has made unwarranted threat of physical violence. Due to the length of the meeting, we were unable to get a response from the city officials. But on Tuesday afternoon, Mayor Ashley Groves says complaints like these are rare and the city has a system for citizens to voice their concerns. She adds, quote, "The city of Galena takes allegations of employee misconduct seriously and will follow procedures to ensure the city is providing the highest possible service to our residents." A 64-year-old Seneca Missouri woman is no longer charged with murder after the prosecuting attorney dismissed the charges against her. Police say in December 2021, Suzette Anderson killed David Wesley Stotts. Anderson maintained it was self-defense, saying Stotts was trying to attack her. She was originally charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Now, Newton County prosecuting attorney William Lynch has filed a motion to dismiss the case because he believes it was a case of justifiable self-defense. A Joplin pizza restaurant for 10 years in the city has closed its doors. Carmine's Wood Fire Pizza announced they closed their doors downtown Joplin location on South Joplin Avenue. They say they were recently presented with an exciting business venture that would take the family who owns it out of state. The pizza spot recently won second place in the International Pizza Expo with their classic traditional style pizza. They closed their doors on Saturday. Demolition continues on a historic Webb City home. The demolition began last week to make way for a new Popeyes restaurant. The house was built in 1908 and once belonged to former Mayor George Washington Moore. Construction of the Popeyes restaurant is scheduled to begin August 1st, with it expected to open 4 months later. To hear more about the house's history and the former owners, go online to KOAMnewsnow.com. That's a look at today's morning's top news and weather stories in your first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, we'll meet the new head coach of Farland with Chris in sports. Plus, Barbie and Oppenheimer are set to release on the same day. This makes us want to know, are you going to see either of them in theaters? And how using hearing aids could help intervene with dementia. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Up and discover summer with Ford. Now during the Discover Summer Sales Event, choose Flex Buy on a 2023 Bronco Sport with 3.9% APR for 66 months, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Well, high school football season is just over a month away, and Fairland just made a change in leadership. Jimmy Hudson had been the Owls coach for the previous 2 seasons and led them to the playoffs and a winning record last year. But in 2023, the Owls will be led by Doug Winters. He'll also serve as athletic director for Fairland High School, and Winters has previously coached several different high school sports teams in the 4 states, ranging from Grove boys basketball to Oologah girls basketball. The Owls begin their 2023 campaign on September 1st at home against Morrison. Missouri Southern may not be competing in any sports right now, but during the athletic season, Lions student athletes excelled both on and off the field. In the past week, the MSSU volleyball and track and field teams have both received awards, and Missouri Southern student athletes from every sports combined for a 3.21 GPA in the 2022-2023 academic year. More specifically, the Lions track and field teams had 22 different athletes get named to U.S. Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association All-Academic Team. On top of that, Southern Volleyball received a team award from the American Volleyball Coaches Association for the 9th year in a row, and 42% of all MSSU student athletes finished the school year with a GPA of 3.5 or better. Well, less than a week remaining in the Mink League regular season. Very different final weeks for our two teams from the 4 states. The Outlaws have 7 games in 6 days, and Nevada has just 3 contests remaining in its regular season. Big game for the Outlaws, hosting the Carroll Merchants. Second night in a row, Sullivan Lane on the hill for Joplin. Strikeout in the first. So does Mark Kenny for Carroll. We go deep fly into the gap for Carroll in the second. Good outfield play, keeps it a single though. We go later in the inning. Got a diving catch by Caden Bressler. Then the throw over to first ends the frame with a double play. Joplin's bats get heated up in the bottom of the second. Jason Lazo gets things started with a bloop single into center. Next batter is Will Kelly. Home run derby champ, but his first of the season. Didn't see this ball land. 2-run home run puts Joplin up 2-0. Go to the top of the third. Carroll tries to steal third. The throw by Outlaws catcher Carson Green, though, beats him by a mile. Outlaws add another in the bottom of the third with this single into center by Green. Brings in Landon Myers. Joplin wins big, 12-4, the final. Elsewhere in the state, really tough loss for Nevada. They enter the night trailing Sedalia by 1 game in the wild card standings. With just 3 games left in the regular season, Griffins come up just short. Tie game heading into the 9th inning. Sedalia walks it off in the bottom of the 9th. Well, still to come, a U.S. soldier is being detained in North Korea after crossing the border. Plus, we got another check of that hot forecast, those shower chances, and when we'll see at least a brief break from the heat when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Can improve your hearing today. Let us help you with the latest technology available in all price ranges. As Kansas's largest provider, you'll have
For a great deal, be sure and take that country drive to Shields and Chinook today.
Nominate your Ford State Hero today.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:17 now on this Wednesday morning. We have heat advisories once again, but as you can see, they've been trimmed 1 county block south from where they were yesterday, but same expiration times, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and 9 o'clock as we head into the evening, and this is for heat index values once again pushing 105 to 110. We also have a low end risk for maybe some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds with some stronger storms as we head into the overnight hours tonight as well. So let's talk about all of that and everything that's going on in this forecast. As we head through the afternoon, we could see a few stray showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two as we go through the evening. As you can see though, these are isolated to widely scattered at best, and as such, even though we'll have mostly cloudy skies, they do not do much for our temperatures as we go through the evening. So still another dangerously hot day across the 4 states. Our better rain chances start coming in overnight tonight. Here you can see by 3 a.m. some heavier rain in our northern counties. And as we go into the morning, toward the morning drive, could see a few lingering showers and thunderstorms across the area. Those will clear out. And then as we head into the afternoon, we could see some additional thunderstorms out there. A couple of those could be on the strong side as well. So as such, we do have a low end risk for a couple of stronger storms for us on Thursday, and we might see a stray strong storm or two for us on Friday with some scattered thunderstorm activity as well. We're sitting at 84 in Joplin, partly cloudy. We have a heat index. That's the first time of all the warm mornings we've had. It's the first time that we've had a morning heat index, and it is at almost 90 degrees. Very muggy out there, dew point 68, humidity 58%, gusty south-southwest breeze though, gusting upwards of 24. We got a little cooler to the north, 71 Iola, 72 Fort Scott. Scott. Then we get warm, 78 in Chanute, 74 Pittsburgh, 84 Miami, 81 Neosho, and 82 in Carthage here at 5:19 in the morning. We get our morning started, partly cloudy skies going into the low 90s once again by late morning. Highs today, mid to upper 90s, and maybe even a few of us reaching right at or slightly above 100. Will be mostly cloudy with those scattered shower chances, and again, maybe a rumble of thunder or two. Better thunderstorm chances overnight, warm again back into the upper 70s, and then upper 70s may be our high by Friday, and that'd be a great break from this heat. It's mid-90s tomorrow. Once we get through Friday, though, and a nice little break in the heat and some rain chances, we start to warm right back up, and as we head into the start of the next work week, temperatures once again return to the triple digits. So enjoy Friday and Saturday because it won't last long. Well, an iconic doll is making her way to the big screen. Alessia Stanford has a look at the eagerly anticipated Barbie movie. Well, do you see how eagerly anticipated it is? Our own system wasn't able to catch up with how excited it is for the new Barbie movie. Well, Barbie and Oppenheimer are both coming out on the same day. I'm sure you've been on social media and you have seen a number of the different memes out there about going to see Barbie and then immediately following it with Oppenheimer and the two different faces that people are making. So Christopher Nolan is making big moves from Inception to Interstellar to the Dark Knight trilogy, and for his latest film, he tackled one of the biggest stories of all time, and that is Oppenheimer. We're going to try and take a look at that movie.
We're in a race against the Nazis. And I know what it means if the Nazis have a bomb.
Cillian Murphy plays the father of the atomic bomb in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer.
This is a matter of life and death. But I can perform this miracle.
World War II would be over. Our boys would come home.
We're trying to not judge the man. We're trying to experience things with him and understand the man. And I felt that Cillian, who's one of the great actors of his generation of all time, he has that unique empathetic ability to draw the audience into the truth of the situation.
Nolan sought Murphy for the title role after casting him as a supporting character in 5 previous films.
I was so exhilarated to be given the opportunity. You know, it's a kind of a dream part, but it's so multifaceted and massive.
His co-stars also felt the scope of the story and the film.
A huge amount of humility was required from this whole cast to kind of come in and say, this is a really delicate and important story, and we want to service it correctly.
It confronts you with things that are so much bigger than you, on a human level and on a physical world level in what we live in.
And yet it's an emotional movie because Chris really and Cillian really pulled off that initial thing that he said. You do come through Oppenheimer's eyes.
I don't know if we can be trusted with such a weapon. But we have no choice.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Now, a quick note, the interviews in this story were conducted before the SAG-AFTRA strike that began on July 14th, as union members are not doing interviews about their work during this strike. So 2 exciting, very interesting movies. Of course, I personally am more interested in Oppenheimer. I'm kind of rewatching the old 1980s movie Fat Man and Little Boy with Paul Newman and Dwight Schultz. It's a little more lighthearted than Oppenheimer is going to be, but still a very good movie and an excellent opportunity to kind of get caught up before you see Oppenheimer in theaters, or if, of course, you're a Barbie fan, you can go see that. And that brings us to our question. Are you planning to see either of these movies in theaters? Are you looking to see Barbie, Oppenheimer, maybe both of them? Or maybe neither of them strike you as interesting? Well, we want to hear from you. Make sure you take time to vote through our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. You can also do so through the KOAM News Now app. And of course, take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. We will return with Health Watch right after this.
Camp Out Thursdays, July 6th, 13th, and 27th.
We at LCC are here to help you navigate your path of success.
Topping Health Watch this morning, Research has established that hearing loss is one of the biggest risk factors for developing dementia. A new study has found that intervening with hearing aids could help. The study, published Tuesday in the journal Lancet, found hearing aids had a significant reduction in cognitive decline for those at higher risk of dementia. Researchers looked at more than 3,000 adults over 3 years. According to the study, in individuals with other health issues, hearing intervention was able to slow down the rate of cognitive decline by 48%. The study didn't necessarily answer the question why hearing decline could increase dementia risk, but scientists believe it could be caused by the brain working harder to redistribute power to understand what is hearing. A new study is highlighting the dangers of opioid use in older people with dementia. Opioid has become increasingly common among dementia patients to help manage pain, particularly formulas that apply to the skin. The study looked at 75,000 Danish dementia patients over a 10-year period. All patients were over the age 65 and 42% of them had taken opioids. Researchers found that within the first 6 months, a third of the patients using opioids had died. Researchers say these potent painkillers, such as morphine and fentanyl, can affect heart rate, breathing, and swallowing. It's a new weapon against a common virus. Every year, respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, sends up 80,000 children younger than 5 to the hospital. But a new treatment to protect newborns is now approved by the U.S. Food and Administration. Manny Gather has more on how it works.
In the U.S., it's the leading cause of hospitalization for infants under a year old. RSV can cause severe illness.
A good friend of ours, her child went into the hospital with RSV. And so that was kind of my first introduction into what RSV could do to infants.
That's part of the reason Cheryl Meany enrolled her twin babies in a clinical trial testing a passive immunity treatment called Nirsevimab. Nearly a decade ago, when they were newborns, the babies were given active antibodies.
The twins, went to pre-K, all of the things, and they never got sick. And, I just kind of had a feeling that it was because of this.
The FDA approved the treatment on Monday. It's not a vaccine. While vaccines prompt the body to make antibodies to defend against pathogens, this is a ready-made antibody that can bind to the virus and block it from infecting healthy cells. The immune system doesn't have to make anything. It's given as a single injection to an infant before RSV season, which usually peaks in the fall and winter months. The FDA says 3 clinical trials showed the drug is safe and effective at preventing severe RSV. Possible side effects included rash and injection site reactions. The agency says it shouldn't be given to a child who's sensitive to its ingredients.
The antibodies will be sold under the name Before Us, but the FDA approval also allows a second injection for infants up to 24 months of age who remain vulnerable through their second season of RSV. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves another warm and muggy start. For the first time of our warm mornings, we've got ourselves a heat index at 5:30 a.m. We'll take a look at those heat advisories, the rain chances, and when we'll see at least some brief relief from the heat coming up.
Or BriggsAuto.com.
Look what's going on at Briggs Auto.
Right now at 5:30, we take you to the Woodson County Fair for the last day for judging and livestock shows.
It is warm and muggy this morning. There's even a heat index at this time of day, if you can believe it. We've got another day of heat advisories and some shower chances. Talk about that coming up.
Also, it's time to go for a creek crawl. If you're wondering what that is, no worries. We'll just stick around and we'll tell you.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:32. I'm Amber Jenkins.
I'm Chris Warner. So it is warm, it is already muggy out there, and it is going to be that way again today. So another day of dangerous heat. But we got some relief from the heat. It'll be brief, but it is there. And then we've got some shower and thunderstorm chances as well. So let's first take a look at those heat advisories across the area. They've been scaled slightly back to the south by one county row. If across the region. And then the time frames, though, still the same, and we have them going until 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and 9 o'clock this evening for the same regions as yesterday. Again, just one county row further south, so that's some good news. It means up north, expecting it to be just a pinch cooler. We do have the possibility of a few strong storms overnight tonight. Could see some small hail, maybe some gusty winds with those storms overnight. And as we go through the afternoon, we'll have increasing clouds. That will do nothing for our temperatures, and we could see some scattered showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms. Again, as you see, they're isolated to widely scattered, but as you can also see, they do absolutely nothing for our temperatures across the area as we head through the afternoon and evening. It's overnight tonight that we'll start to see a slightly better chance of at least some more organized thunderstorm activity, and this is where our better opportunity for a strong storm with some of that small hail, gusty winds is going to be. Some showers, thunderstorms ongoing by the morning drive. We'll see a few of those scattered as we head into the early afternoon hours, and then after that, they will clear out and we will be warm once again for our Thursday. However, for our Thursday, another low-end risk for some stronger storms in the late morning, early afternoon, and we could see a few scattered storms Friday, and some of those could be possibly on the strong side for some of us. Right now in Joplin, though, partly cloudy, 84, feels like 87, which is just insane. Dew point 68, humidity 58%, winds out of the south-southwest, gusting to 24. Doesn't really help with the air temperature, but at least it's breezy. We got 82 Chitopa, 84 Miami, 82 Carthage, a little cooler north, 72 Fort Scott, 71 in Iola. And as we get our morning started, again, partly cloudy skies, already getting warm back into the low 90s as we head into the late morning hours. Highs today pushing near 100 again. Heat index values close to 100 to 105 to 110 again, so make sure you're taking precautions. We'll have another look at your full forecast and when we'll see some relief from the heat here in a few more minutes. Amber?
Thanks, Chris. Tuesday was the last day for judging and livestock shows at the Woodson County Fair. The youth participants had been preparing this year for the last year, diligently raising, feeding, and grooming their prize livestock. The youngins got to show off their hard work with the hopes of winning grand champion.
I am showing a goat, 2 goats, a meat goat, a doe, and then a breeding doe, and also a swan.
The fair concluded with a barnyard Olympics and a bouncy houses. The Nation of Patriots tour made its way through downtown Joplin. The motorcycle tour is a ceremonial passing of the American flag throughout each of the 50 states. The intention of the tour is to honor all United States military members and their families and aims to meet the needs of each of the brave men and women.
It's not just a piece of cloth. That's something that we have fought for and fought under. That symbolizes the blood that everybody shed to have the freedoms that we have.
The tour will continue its journey Friday morning as it goes through Kansas. You might have heard of a bear crawl, but how about a creek crawl? On Tuesday, the Kroll Creek Conservation Education Center hosted their creek crawl. It gave people the opportunity to check out the life in the creek and what hidden creatures could be in it. When a creature was taken out, naturalists could explain what was called and what they do for the environment, including their effects on the water. One organism they checked out, intrabates, the naturalists say they correlate with water quality. If there's more of those, that means the water is of good quality.
Having clean waters, we wouldn't be able to see a lot of those aquatic macroinvertebrates, those animals that we're going to get to take a look at today. Because without those opportunities, then they wouldn't have this really great place to be able to swim, to be able to kayak, to canoe, to fish. And that's where we're starting here today, because it takes that tiny little insect to have water that's not going to be the best quality to affect our fish population.
Naturalists with the Shoal Creek hope the event will show folks how fun it is to be in the water. And if you're looking for more fun ways to have fun in the water, Wildcat Glaze is preparing to host their Shoal Creek Water Festival this weekend. The more than 4-hour event will have cardboard boat races with boats built by some area people. There's also a shoebox boat race for kids, a rubber duck race, and a fishing derby. Organizers say the time to sign up is running out.
Registration is going to close this Thursday for both of those events, for the shoebox boat race and the cardboard boat race.
However, you can find information online about that, and if you want to enter after that, just contact us. You can either call Wildcat Glades Nature Group, or you can email us at maddie@wildcatglades.org.
It'll kick off Saturday at 10 a.m. and ends at 4:30 p.m. A meeting between the residents and owners of Joplin Mobile Home Park over the rate increases have been postponed. The meeting at Countryside Acres was scheduled for Tuesday night at 7. It was supposed to be a chance for residents to learn about plans for the increase in rates at the park. The meeting has been rescheduled for this coming Saturday at noon. This morning, we are discussing Barbieheimer. Well, I mean Barbie and Oppenheimer.
If you've seen the memes on Facebook, it's probably Barbieheimer out there. It's two movies fighting for the top spot this weekend, Barbie and Oppenheimer. One is a film about an iconic doll, and one is about a scientist who is the father of the atomic bomb. Very different movies racing for those box office dollars.
Barbie is expected to pull at least $100 million, while Oppenheimer is expected to pull in at least $50 million. The reason for that is that Oppenheimer is an R-rated and 3-hour runtime movie. Only time will tell which will come out on top.
It's going to be well worth that 3 hours, though, because I talked about Fat Man and Little Boy, the movie from the 80s. Love that movie. I'm looking forward to this one. That brings us to our question for you, though. Are you planning to see Oppenheimer or Barbie in theaters? So far, 43% of you say that you're going to see Oppenheimer. Another 14% say you will see Barbie. 14% of you say you're going to do like on Facebook and see both of them. And 29% of you, though, say you don't really have an interest in either of them. So at least here locally, it looks like Oppenheimer may come out on top. Well, make sure you take time to vote through our website, through our app, and, of course, take part in the discussion on our Facebook page.
Nice. I'm rooting for Barbie, though. I'm excited for Barbie.
And, you know, it does look like a good movie. It's not my cup of tea, but it does look like it's going to be a good movie. Like, I can't knock it. It looks like it'll be a nice one to see for some folks.
We'll see. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Speaking of Barbie, did you know her hometown is in Wisconsin? We'll take you there to learn more about this famous doll.
Did not know that. Plus, some baby sea turtles are released in Venezuela. We'll have the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from the Bourbon County Fair in Fort Scott, Kansas.
Partner of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Topping World Watch, British passports have a new look. For the first time in 70 years, new passports will bear the title His Majesty instead of Her Majesty. It acknowledges the ascension of King Charles III to the throne. The Interior Ministry says the update title will start appearing on passports being issued this week. Her Majesty has appeared on the British passport since 1952. Cardon sea turtle hatchlings returned to the sea. 9 hatchlings were released off the central coast of Venezuela as part of a La Sabancha sea turtle conservation project. The species is endangered, and according to most experts, most hatchlings don't survive once they return to the water. 5 out of the 7 sea turtle species nest along the Venezuelan coast. Each year, the turtles return to the same beach where they were born to later own eggs. New details are coming in regarding an American soldier detained in North Korea. The soldier was on a tour of a demilitarized zone, which separates the North and South, when he intentionally crossed the border without permission. Greg Palcott has the details.
I'm absolutely foremost concerned about the welfare of our troops.
A major incident overseas. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin confirming an American soldier is being detained in North Korea.
There's a lot that we're still trying to learn, but what we do know is that one of our service members who was on a tour willfully and without authorization crossed the military demarcation line.
According to a senior U.S. defense official, the enlisted soldier, identified as Private Second Class Travis King, was likely facing disciplinary action and was due to be sent back to the U.S. The DoD says he further disobeyed orders by going on a tour of the DMZ, and they say that's when he voluntarily crossed into North Korea. The incident comes amid heightened tensions over North Korea's nuclear program and the policies of the country's isolated leader, Kim Jong-un.
What has kept Kim Jong-un in line for the most part was that we've put the pressure on him. But we need to make sure that he knows there will be hell to pay if he hurts that soldier. You can't trust Kim Jong-un.
King is the first American detained in North Korea in nearly 5 years. His detention, a diplomatic challenge for U.S. officials, causing concerns about what leverage it will provide North Korea.
The way out of this is going to cost us. It's going to be painstaking, and I can tell you that North Korea is going to be in absolutely no rush to make any move whatsoever.
To try and deter North Korea, the U.S. has sent a nuclear-armed submarine to South Korea for the first time in decades. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Entire region. AccessFamilyCare.org.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:48 on this Wednesday morning, halfway through the work week and halfway through at least this round of heat before more arrives next week. We have heat advisories once again trimmed one county south, but they still run 7, 8, and 9 o'clock, and that's for heat index values today of 105 to 110 once again. We also have the possibility of some stronger storms overnight. We have the threat for maybe some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds as we head into the very early morning hours of our Thursday. And as we go through our Wednesday, we're having mostly cloudy skies and could even see a few stray showers or maybe even a thunderstorm or two. As you can see, they are widely scattered at best out there, so most of us will remain dry, but you could get a brief shower. Unfortunately, that does not help our temperatures, and if you get one of those showers, that's only going to make the humidity that much worse. As we go into the overnight, though, this is where our best chance for some thunderstorms is, and as we go into, say, between maybe midnight and 4 a.m., that's our best opportunity for some stronger storms across the area. Could still see a few stray showers and storms hanging on as we head into the morning drive, and then maybe a couple of additional thunderstorms as we head into the late morning and early afternoon for us on Thursday. As such, some of those might be on the strong side. Again, small hail, gusty winds. And we'll have scattered storm chances again Friday, and at least for a few of us, those could again be slightly on the strong side. So we'll keep an eye on all these storm chances for you. Right now in Joplin, we are partly cloudy, 84. We still have a heat index of 87 with a high dew point, humidity at 58%, and a gusty south-southwesterly breeze out there. Again, not that the breeze is doing much for us, but it's there. We're a little cooler to the north, hence why the heat advisories cut off at a certain point. We had 71 Iola, 72 Fort Scott, 74 Nevada, and as you head south, it warms up. We had 78 Chanute, 75 Parsons, 76 Pittsburgh, 81 in Chetopa, 83 in Miami, and 81 in Neosho. Now, as we get our morning started, we'll be partly cloudy and getting hot fast, going in the low 90s by late morning. Mostly cloudy, scattered showers through the day. Highs today, upper 90s, lower 100s with those heat index values again, 105 to 110. Through the evening, mostly cloudy, scattered showers, better storm chances overnight, upper 70s, mid 90s tomorrow with those thunderstorm chances. And then if this holds true, and I know everybody's hoping it does, upper 70s Friday. So a break from the heat before it turns back on as we head into the next work week with triple digits returning to our forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News, but first, let's take a live look from the Bourbon County Fair in Fort Scott.
They're back to 5080.
We all know Barbie, whether you had one or didn't. Everyone knows the iconic name. With the movie coming out this weekend, we want to take a look at her roots in Wisconsin. Hannah Hillard has the story.
Stepping out of her own world and into reality.
What do I have to do? You have to go to the real world.
The new Barbie movie coming out in the very near future has the Wisconsin Historical Society in Madison chatting about her past.
This Barbie right here is from 1961, and it was purchased by grandparents who actually bought it so that their granddaughter would have a toy when she came to visit to play with them.
The Historical Society has the doll in her iconic black and white striped bathing suit. Why? Well, partly because she's a Wisconsinite.
Mattel originally in the 60s put out a series of books about Barbie, and in those books, she was identified as having graduated from high school in Willows, Wisconsin.
Yes, according to Barbie's website, she's from Willows, Wisconsin, although how long she has lived in the fictional town has changed throughout the years.
In the 2000s, 2010s, she got her story changed just a little bit and moved from Willows when she was 8.
Is there any indication in the history of Barbie of why Wisconsin?
Not in the history of Barbie that we've been able to find. We sort of believe that, Wisconsin is sort of often thought of as kind of a classic Americana kind of state with a lot of tradition and a lot of ties to popular cultures.
Here at the Wisconsin Historical Society, they have several other Barbies a part of their collection, like this one, a Barbie dressed as a Badgers cheerleader. Appropriate considering her hometown. A hometown that, despite Barbie's evolution over the last 64 years, has stayed the same.
Well, I do believe Barbie is a homegrown Midwest girl. It's nice to hear that she's from Wisconsin. But we'll have more right after this. A 54-year-old Australian man is back on dry land after harboring 3 months at sea. The crew of a Mexican tuna boat found Timothy Shaddock and his dog Bella in a catamaran 1,200 miles from land in the Pacific Ocean. They were given food and water once brought on board the boat, which was set to arrive back in Mexico on Tuesday. Shaddock told an Australian news outlet his time at sea was hell, but he needs to rest, but is otherwise okay. Exactly what happened trapping the man and his dog at sea hasn't been detailed. The U.S. passport has dropped 2 spots to number 8 on the list of the world's most powerful passports for 2023. The ranking by a London-based global citizenship and residency advisory firm, Findlay & Partners, the Findlay Passport Index measures global travel freedom in terms of how much visa-free and visa-on-demand access to the world different citizens enjoy. Japan was in the top spot for 5 years, but has been knocked down into 3rd place, with Singapore as the new title holder. Germany, Italy, and Spain have all moved up into 2nd place with visa-free access to 190 destinations. Japan and South Korea share the number 3 slot, with Austria, Finland, France, Luxembourg, and Sweden, each with access to 189 destinations.
We've got heat advisories once again today. Heat index values 105 to 110. Will be partly cloudy going through the morning into the low 90s by late morning. Highs today, upper 90s, lower 100s again. Mostly cloudy skies this afternoon and some isolated to widely scattered showers, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder. That'll persist with us through the evening. Warm overnight, upper 70s, and better thunderstorm chances overnight. We'll go mid-90s tomorrow, additional thunderstorm chances, more thunderstorms Friday, and that could keep us down into the upper 70s, so a nice break from the heat. However, after we get through Saturday, temperatures start soaring again. Triple digits return by Monday and Tuesday of next week with more pop-up thunderstorm chances. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 6, authorities respond to a crash on I-44 that sends a pickup trailer and a boat crashing through a guardrail.
We've got heat advisories again today with dangerous heat and some thunderstorm chances out there. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
Also, with Old Glory waving in the breeze, the Nation of Patriots tour rolls through Joplin on the mission across the country to honor military members and their families.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Amber Jenkins.
I'm Chris Warner. Just after 6 o'clock now on this Wednesday morning, halfway through the work week, and it is already hot and muggy outside, and it's 6 a.m., and we've got more hot and muggy conditions for us across the area. In fact, we have heat advisories. They've been moved 1 county south, so we're expecting it to be a pinch cooler in the north, but we'll still see heat index values 105 to 110, and these advisories run until 7, 8, and 9 o'clock this evening out there. We also have the possibility of a couple of strong storms overnight tonight with maybe some small hail and gusty winds, and that'll be between roughly midnight and say 4 a.m. for us on our Thursday. As we go through today, though, we'll have increasing cloud cover and we'll see isolated to widely scattered showers, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder out there. So as you can see, most of us remain dry, and any showers we see have pretty much zero impact on our temperatures. The only thing they may do is if you get under a brief shower, it may increase your humidity and make it that much more uncomfortable out there. As we head into the overnight, though, that's when we see better chances for organized showers and thunderstorms, and this is when our opportunity for a few stronger storms is going to be. And then after that, we'll see a few lingering showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms heading toward the morning drive, and could see a couple of additional showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two as we head into Thursday afternoon. And with that said, we do have a low-end risk for some stronger storms as we head into late morning tomorrow and into the early afternoon hours. And then Friday, scattered storm chances, and a few of us may see a couple of stronger storms out there as well. We'll have another full look at your forecast when we'll get at least a brief break from the heat and when the heat returns here in a few more minutes. Amber?
Thanks, Chris. A Tuesday night crash in Lawrence County, Missouri turns fatal. Troopers say a 1983 Ford 250 traveled off the road, corrected, and struck a 2013 Dodge Grand Caravan head-on. The driver of the 250 and a juvenile passenger in the Caravan were pronounced dead at the scene. The driver and the passenger of the Caravan were flown to a hospital in Springfield with serious injuries. Authorities respond to reports of a boat crash on I-44. The crash happened on Tuesday around 3:30 in the afternoon in the westbound lanes of I-44 near exit 22. Troopers say a westbound pickup was hauling a boat and a trailer, left the roadway and went through a guardrail. Cartridge fire managed to pull the boat onto the shoulder. About 100 feet of guardrail and 15 posts were destroyed. A number of people were transported to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Authorities arrest a Galena man in connection to alleged drug crimes. On Tuesday, Cherokee County authorities arrested 44-year-old Caleb Hilton after issuing a warrant for his arrest. Authorities say he's been the subject of an investigation into the distribution of methamphetamine in Cherokee County. The Newton County prosecuting attorney dismisses murder charges against a 64-year-old Seneca, Missouri woman. Police say in December of 2021, Suzette Anderson killed David Wesley Stotts. Anderson maintained it was self-defense, saying Stotts was trying to attack her. She was originally charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Now, Newton County prosecuting attorney William Lynch has filed a motion to dismiss the case because he believes it was a case of justifiable self-defense. Former President Trump is again lashing out, saying he has been notified that he is under yet another federal investigation, this time regarding the efforts to interfere with the results of the 2020 election. Experts say this indictment could be imminent. Jared Hill has more on the former president's latest legal headache and how other top Republicans are reacting.
On the campaign trail.
If you say something about an election, they want to put you in jail for the rest of your life. It's a disgrace.
And at a Fox News town hall.
It's election interference.
Former President Donald Trump on the defensive after revealing he's received a letter indicating he's a target of a Department of Justice probe into January 6th and efforts to disrupt the peaceful transfer of power. On his social media platform, Trump called special counsel Jack Smith deranged and claimed he has 4 days to report to a grand jury.
Prosecutors don't send target letters unless they are all but certain to bring an indictment.
Trump's congressional allies rushed to his defense.
I think the American public is tired of this.
I don't think there's any way in hell that Trump would get a fair trial in Washington, D.C.
His 2024 GOP rivals also weighed in.
We can't keep dealing with this drama. We can't keep dealing with the negativity.
Meanwhile, Trump's lawyers and prosecutors faced off Tuesday out of Florida federal court in the case regarding his alleged mishandling of classified documents. The former president's team pressed for an indefinite delay to a trial date. The Trump-appointed judge overseeing the case said she'll issue her decision in writing. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And in Michigan, the Attorney General announced that 16 so-called false electors face felony charges for signing and submitting certifications that falsely claim former President Trump won the state in 2020. The charges include forgery and election law violations. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. So just search for the KOAM News app. The Nation of Patriots is tour rolled through downtown Joplin. The motorcycle tour is a ceremonial passing of the American flag throughout each of the 50 states. The intention of the tour is to honor all United States military members and their families and aims to meet the needs of each of these brave men and women.
growing up in a military family, I'm very familiar with veterans and just everything. I mean, I grew up in Army since I was born. So just to be able to help where I can now is just a huge impact as far as for me personally.
The tour continues its journey Friday morning as it goes through Kansas. Tuesday marked the last day for judging and livestock shows at the Woodson County Fair. The youth participants have been preparing for this fair for the last year, diligently raising, feeding, and grooming their prize livestock. The youngins got to show off their hard work with hopes of winning grand champion and to have some fun.
Probably my sisters. They were doing it, so I was like, when I get a little bit older for the fair, I guess I'll start doing it because it sounded really fun.
The fair concluded with a barnyard Olympics and bouncy houses. That's a look at today's top morning stories and weather in your top 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, first responders find a way to beat the heat.
A record-breaking stretch of heat continues across the country. I'm Jared Hill with a look at the innovative ways first responders are keeping people cool and saving lives.
Plus, a trip to the dentist may not sound like a holiday to many people, but there's a push to reduce patients' anxiety by treating them to a spa experience. And Chris returns with another look at the forecast and if the 4 states can expect another day of triple-digit temperatures and when we can see some relief. You're watching the KOAM Morning News, more real news in the morning. We'll be right back. But first, we're going to have a live look from the Bourbon County Fair in Fort Scott.
Well, let me exteriors. Pella, simply beautiful.
Topping Nation Watch this morning, a car slams into a house in St. Louis on Tuesday. The crash happened just before 2:30 in the afternoon on Kingston Drive. Authorities say the vehicle was already traveling at a high rate of speed when it veered off the roadway, hit an embankment, and went airborne. The car caused significant damage to the home. The crash killed the driver. Missouri authorities are investigating a possible threat at the Ford Motor plant in Claymore. The situation began just after 5 p.m. on Tuesday when a phone call came into Ford's safety and risk management team. A man on the line claimed to be armed with explosives, a rifle, and a handgun. He claimed to be barricaded in the second-floor bathroom. The Clay County Sheriff's Office evacuated the rest of the plant.
He expressed being disgruntled. He said he was an employee who worked in the paint area. He gave his name, his first name, but it wasn't the first name of anybody who actually does work in the paint area. He also gave the name of his supervisor, that was the correct name of someone who works in the paint area.
The possibility of the situation being a swatting call has not been ruled out by the sheriff's police. Another big Powerball drawing is coming up after nobody won the jackpot on Monday. Powerball players are anticipating Wednesday's drawing. The jackpot climbed again to an estimated $1 billion after no winning ticket matched all of Monday's numbers. The jackpot could be the 7th highest in U.S. history and the 3rd largest for Powerball. But to keep in mind, the game's odds are about 1 in 292 million. In New York, ticket buyers talk about what they would do if they became the lucky winner.
Well, half of it I'll give to charity, and the other half, every family member will be a millionaire.
For my family, I would buy a new house for them.
Oh, what about friends?
Friends? They would get really nice birthday gifts, I guess.
So if I won this lottery ticket, don't come look for me, please. I will go look for you.
Powerball players have a chance at $1 billion paid out in yearly increments or a more than a $516 million one-time lump sum payout before taxes. This morning, more than 100 million Americans are under heat warnings. In Phoenix, Arizona, hospitals are seeing a steady stream of patients, with the city set to enter its 20th straight day of temperatures above 110 degrees. Jared Hill has the latest on how people are coping with the blazing heat that isn't expected to let up after a couple days.
In hospitals across Phoenix, Arizona, ice baths, a saving grace for overheated patients.
It usually drops you by a degree Fahrenheit
every 3 to 4 minutes.
Increasingly necessary as the city soared past its old record Tuesday, marking 19 straight days above 110 degrees.
And that is officially breaking that record set almost 50 years ago.
There have been nearly 700 heat-related emergency calls in the Phoenix area for June and July alone. This is one of them, for a man in distress found outside in the heat.
Let's pour water all over him.
Cold water on his body, plus an IV with ice-cold saline, a technique that Fire Captain Carl Chandler says can save lives.
We put some of our IVs on ice or cool our IVs so we can cool that internal temperature quicker for those individuals.
It's not just in Phoenix. The heat dome is stretching across the South. It could be one of the most intense summers on record in Texas. In Houston, volunteers hand out water to folks living on the street.
It is very important that they should have some sort of shelter, and we all need to work together to get that happen.
Near Memphis, Tennessee, severe thunderstorms knocked out power for more than 100,000.
The tarp on our driveway just blew that way, and I looked up and went, wait a minute, the line was on fire.
Experts warn with climate change, summers like this could be here to stay. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Doctors have said that most of the heat-related deaths they come across in Phoenix are from those in the homeless community. The next most vulnerable group are people who work outdoors. Medical experts say if you're planning to head out for any activity in the heat, start hydrating before you go outside. That's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, and we've got some of that dangerous heat right here in the 4 states. Already warm and muggy this morning. We've got heat advisories for some of us and high heat index values once again. We'll take a look at that full forecast plus some relief from the heat and some rain chances when we come back.
A brick today and be a permanent part of the foundation at Vida Nova Village, Joplin.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:18 now on this Wednesday morning. We have another round of heat advisories. They've been trimmed back a little bit from our northern counties, but still cover the majority of the area, lasting until 7, 8, and 9 p.m. this evening, and that is for heat index values today of 105 to 110 once again across the area. And as we go into the overnight hours, we also have the chance for some stronger storms out there with maybe some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds, and this will be between roughly midnight and 4 a.m. as we head into very early Thursday. Then we have potential for some additional strong storms Thursday and maybe even for a few of us on Friday. As for this afternoon, we're going to see increasing cloud cover. That will not do anything for our temperatures, but even with the mostly cloudy skies, we'll also start to see some scattered shower activity, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two. But as you can see, it is isolated to widely scattered at best, and it also doesn't do anything for our temperatures out there. In fact, if anything, if you get caught up under a decent enough shower, the most it's going to do is increase your humidity and make it feel even more miserable outside as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. Now, once we get into early Thursday morning, that's when our best opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms, at least more organized ones, will be. And this is also where our best opportunity for some stronger storms will be. And right now, that looks to be confined to our northern counties across the area. And that's again for some small hail, maybe some gusty winds. A few showers, thunderstorms ongoing as we head into the morning drive on Thursday. And then we could see a few additional thunderstorms as we go into the late morning and early afternoon hours on our Thursday. And a couple of those could be on the strong side as well. So we do have a low wind risk for some stronger storms Thursday. We also have one for parts of the area as we head into Friday, as we see some additional chances of some scattered storms out there. Here's a look at that sunrise in Joplin. Looking good so far. We are partly cloudy. We are warm though, 84 with a heat index of 87. So it feels like it's almost 90 degrees out there, and it's 6:17 in the morning. Dew point's up there at 67. Humidity is at 56%. Now up to the north, it is a pinch cooler. We've got 72 Fort Scott, Iola, 74s in Yates Center, Nevada. Then as you head south, it warms up. 78 Parsons, 76 Pittsburgh, 83 Chitopa, 84 in Miami, and 81 in Neosho. As we get our morning started, again, we'll be partly cloudy. We'll go into the low 90s once again by late morning, and our afternoon highs today for the most part pushing upper 90s, and again, maybe even a few lower 100-degree readings out there. And we'll stay mostly cloudy while those isolated to widely scattered showers with us through the afternoon into the evening hours. Again, most of us will remain dry, but a few of us could see some shower activity. And then overnight, again, better chances for thunderstorms. We'll go back into the upper 70s for our lows. We're going to head right about the mid-90s tomorrow with scattered thunderstorms, and if this pattern holds, and I'm certainly hoping it does, we'll go upper 70s for highs on Friday. So Friday, even though we've got the thunderstorm chances, a great break from the heat for us. We're only at 89 on Saturday, so still warming up, but not that bad. But as we head into Sunday and into next week, the triple digits return, and as you can see, they're going to stick with us for the majority of next week as well. So more dangerous heat on the way for the 4 states and some hit and miss pop-up thunderstorm chances as well. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Sanders. We're by Integris Health with hospitals in Miami and Grove. Integris Health, partnering with people to live healthier lives.
Topping Health Watch this morning. New research is providing insight into why some breastfed babies develop a life-threatening gut infection called NEC and some don't. The study at the University of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania found breast milk from each individual contains a unique set of antibodies that remain stable. Mothers that don't have certain antibodies cannot provide immunity to their kids for some infections. A new study finds people with bipolar disorder are 6 times more likely to die from accidents, violence, or suicide. Research published in the BMJ Mental Health shows alcohol is a major contributing factor. Doctors say programs designed to prevent substance abuse could likely reduce the number of lives lost from external causes. And exercising only on the weekend may be just as beneficial as working out regularly throughout the week. That's according to a new study at Massachusetts General Hospital that found moderate to vigorous exercise 1 to 2 days a week was linked to similarly lower risks of heart disease and stroke compared with more evenly distributed exercise. A visit to the dentist is rarely pleasant, but now many dentists are trying to create a spa-like experience, adding services to make your visit as enjoyable as possible. Dr. Michaela Marshall has visited one.
Hey, Kelly. Since she was a child, Kelly Harris has dreaded going to the dentist.
I've had Novocaine needles break in my mouth, dentists that didn't have a lot of compassion.
But now Kelly says she looks forward to her dental appointments, drills and all, thanks to a new approach at what are more like dental spas.
Unfortunately, there is a lot of fear around the dentist, and we really wanted to reframe that, change the mindset.
Patients at Elite Dental Studio are greeted in a modern lounge with soothing music and a drink bar where they can enjoy a cappuccino before their appointment. Once in the exam room, patients can choose from a variety of creature comforts for free.
If you want noise-canceling headphones, maybe you don't like the sounds, or maybe you want a weighted blanket just to help combat that anxiety, or you want to watch Netflix. Whatever it is that puts you at ease.
All of these comfort add-ons are available and complimentary to patients whether they have dental insurance or not. Plus, every new patient gets one complimentary 30-minute facial. And Dr. Perry says the mouth is very important, but
it doesn't just end at the teeth, the face is part of that. We offer aesthetic services. We are offering Botox and fillers as well as, cosmetic treatments.
For an additional fee. Today, Kelly chose the complimentary weighted blanket and eye massager.
And I'll put some headphones on you as well.
Okay. To know that you can come and feel happy going to the dentist when before it was just a state of panic. So I'm grateful.
And her teeth have never been healthier. Dr. Malika Marshall, CBS News, Westboro, Massachusetts.
It's important to change the mindset of grown-ups around dental care so they don't pass on the anxiety onto their kids. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves another day of dangerous heat. Heat advisories for a good portion of the area and some rain chances. We'll talk about all of that when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Right now at 6:30, hot on the heels of an international pizza competition, one pizzeria in Joplin decides to pack up its pies and move out of state for what it calls an exciting business venture.
And we've got another dangerous heat day for us with heat advisories across the area. We also have some rain chances out there. We'll talk about all that in the forecast coming up.
Also, a new Missouri law will soon change the way insurance companies pay for diagnostic breast imaging. Fernanda Silva takes us for a closer look at the impact of this new law.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:29, excuse me. I'm Amber Jenkins.
I'm Chris Warner. I know we're halfway through the week, so we're wanting to speed things
Getting
up a
there.
little bit, you know, get a little closer to Friday. And you're definitely going to want to get closer to Friday because we've got much better temperatures by then. Until then, though, we've got heat advisories moved one county south. So some of our northern counties taken out of this, but the rest of us still under these until 9, 8, and 7 p.m. this evening for heat index values of 105 to 110 out there. We also have the possibility of a few strong storms overnight tonight between, say, midnight and 4 a.m. that could have some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds out there. So let's take a look at what we're expecting down the road. We go through today, we'll have mostly cloudy skies. It doesn't do anything for our temperature. Same with the scattered showers we'll see. And as you see, these showers are isolated to widely scattered at best as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. Could see a stray thunderstorm or two, but really not a lot out there until we get into the early morning hours of Thursday. We'll start to see some of these thunderstorms that are more organized build in, and this is going to be our better opportunity for some of those stronger storms with the small hail and gusty winds. Could see a few lingering showers and thunderstorms toward the morning drive across the area, and then as we head late morning and into the early afternoon on our Thursday, could see some additional showers and thunderstorms out there. Then we've got additional scattered storms as we go into our Fridays, so we have a low end risk for some stronger storms for us on Thursday and for some of us again on Friday. Right now, though, beautiful sunrise there from our camera at 7th and Rangeline, but it is already, I might as well just be honest, it's already hot. 84 in Joplin, feels like 87, dew point 67, humidity up there as well at 56%. So our northern counties a little cooler. We got 72 Iola, 73 Yates Center, Fort Scott, 74 Nevada, and the further south you go, the warmer it gets. 77 Lamar, Pittsburgh, 78 Parsons, 83 Miami, and 81 in Neosho. We get our morning started. We'll be partly cloudy. We're warming up quickly again. Low 90s by late morning. Highs today, upper 90s, lower 100s for some of us. Mostly cloudy skies. Again, the scattered showers and heat index values 105 to 110. So please make sure you're staying hydrated, taking frequent breaks if you have to be outdoors. Mostly cloudy again. A few scattered showers. Better storm chances overnight. We go back into the upper 70s. We'll go right around the mid 90s tomorrow with those thunderstorm chances. More storm chances Friday. And if this system holds, we have a strong July cold front coming through that at least briefly kicks us down into the upper 70s for Friday. So great break from the heat, but it does not take long before Mother Nature turns the oven back up and we go back into the triple digits as we head into the next work week. Amber?
Thanks, Chris. A new Missouri law requires health insurance companies to pay the full cost of diagnostic breast imaging. Under the new law, patients won't have to pay the copay or the deductible. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has the story.
Chrissy Sabert was 47 years old when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, the second most common cancer among women in the United States. Chrissy was already taking diagnostic breast cancer imaging exams yearly, but it was something else that led her to going back to the doctor.
Popped out of the shower and thought, what is that? You know, kind of a little, looked like a little divot or a little sunken in place. That was odd. I'd never seen that before.
But Christy is not alone. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, in Missouri, for every 1,000 women, more than 120 new female breast cancer cases were reported in 2020. Imaging exams are a large part of cancer detection and treatment. A new law in Missouri eliminates the cost of diagnostic breast cancer imaging. It will take effect on January 1st, 2024.
Not infrequently, I have patients that are unable to go through with the recommended studies, and cost being the most commonly quoted factor that I have in that. So with the new law requiring insurance to cover 100% of the out-of-pocket costs for some of these studies, I believe that we'll be able to diagnose more breast cancers at an earlier stage and have better outcomes for our patients, and particularly our high-risk patients.
This removes another excuse, another obstacle. This law is definitely a positive in the right direction. I believe it can be a building block because this needs to pass in every state.
The new law not only benefits patients financially, but also mentally.
It will have a significant impact on our patients' mental health. A diagnosis or even a concern for a possible diagnosis of breast cancer has a significant impact on the mental health of our patients. A lot of stress and anxiety is associated with that, and when these patients incur an additional stressor of a large bill, that's not good for their mental health.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
The Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks also offers free screening mammograms for people who are uninsured or underinsured. Doctors recommend annual mammograms for women age 40 and above. Early detection of breast cancer can not only improve pre-diagnosis, but it also provides a wider range of treatment options. The mayor of Galena, Kansas, weigh-ins on some citizens' allegations of police misconduct in the city. This council on Monday night heard from 2 Galena citizens with complaints. They claim Galena police don't treat everyone equally and claim officers have unfairly harassed specific individuals or families. One citizen claimed an officer has made an unwarranted threat of physical violence. Due to the length of the meeting, we were unable to get a response from city officials. But on Tuesday afternoon, Mayor Ashley Groves says complaints like these are rare and the city has a system for citizens to voice their concerns. She adds, quote, "The city of Galena takes allegations of employee misconduct seriously and will follow procedures to ensure the city is providing the highest possible service to our residents." A meeting between the Joplin residents and owners of a Joplin mobile home park over the rate increases have been postponed. The meeting at Countryside Acres was scheduled for Tuesday night at 7. It was supposed to be a chance for residents to learn about plans for an increase in rates at the park. The meeting has been rescheduled for this coming Saturday at noon. Demolition continues on a historic Webb City home. The demolition began last week to make way for a new Popeyes restaurant. The house was built back in 1908 and once belonged to former Mayor George Washington Moore. Construction of the Popeyes restaurant is scheduled to begin August 1st, with it expected to open 4 months later. To hear more about the house history and the former owners, go to KOAMnewsnow.com. A former Joplin pizza restaurant for 10 years in the city closes its doors. Carmine's Wooded Fire Pizza announced they closed their downtown Joplin location on South Joplin Avenue. They say they were recently presented with an exciting business venture that would take the family who owns it out of state. The pizza spot recently won second place in the International Pizza Expo with their classic traditional style pizza. They closed their doors on Saturday. If you're looking for ways to have fun in the water, Wildcat Glaze is preparing to host their Shoal Creek Water Festival this weekend. The more than 4-hour event will have cardboard boat races with boats built by some area people. There is also a shoebox boat race for kids, a rubber duck race, and a fishing derby. Naturalists say doing the Waterfest this weekend is a good way to beat this heat.
At the beginning of August, there tends to be a lot of things going on, and we were competing with some of the other events. So we did reach out to lots of different people who attend Waterfest, and they said that maybe at the end of July it would be better. So we're trying something different this year. And also back to school tends to be super busy. And as we all know, August is such a hot month.
It'll kick off Saturday at 10 a.m. and ends at 4:30 p.m. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The war in Ukraine might seem like a world away, but the impact of a grain deal will soon be felt on American dinner tables. We'll explain.
And we've got heat advisories again across the area, dangerous heat and some shower chances. We'll take another look at that forecast when we come back. But first, here's a live look from the Bourbon County Fair in Fort Scott.
$2.99 strawberry shortcake snowball slush float. Sonic.
In Consumer Watch this morning, a legal fight over Taco Tuesday is over. Wyoming-based fast food chain Taco John's says it will no longer defend its federal trademark of the phrase. It comes 2 months after rival Taco Bell filed a petition to challenge the trademark, claiming it wanted to, quote, liberate the phrase for restaurants nationwide. The dispute goes on in New Jersey, where a restaurant vows to keep fighting for the exclusive right to Taco Tuesday promotions in the state. Peacock is hiking up prices for the first time since its launch back in 2020. The NBC Universal streaming platform premium plan now costs $1 more for new customers at $5.99 a month. The ad-free plan will go up $2 to $11.99 per month. The price increase will hit current Peacock subscribers in mid-August. There's about to be a boom to the khaki shorts industry. Target has changed its dress code to allow most of its employees to wear shorts to work. That's nearly 440,000 people who can now don their bare legs while earning a paycheck. The announcement comes as much of the country deals with record-breaking heat. Target used to only allow employees who worked outside to wear shorts. The new dress code doesn't say shorts have to be khaki. They actually say they can be any solid color. Russia's decision to opt out a deal allowing for the export of grain from the Ukraine shocked the global markets this week. The collapse of the agreement threatens to increase the cost of food, and millions around the world could feel the impact of higher prices. But what does this mean for the average American? Gloria Pazimo breaks it all down.
As the fighting continues in Ukraine, Russian President Vladimir Putin announcing his decision to withdraw from a deal brokered by the UN and Turkey to allow grain exports from Ukraine through the Black Sea.
What Russia is doing now is striking at the political stability of many countries.
Ukraine is known as Europe's breadbasket, and it accounts for 10% of the world wheat market.
Ukraine is one of the major grain producers in the world, and countries in Africa and the Middle East in particular depend on receiving that grain.
The move sparking outrage.
It's unacceptable to hold hostage the hungriest people in the world because of some power play and aggression carried out by Moscow.
And dire warnings.
Hundreds of millions of people face hunger, and consumers are confronting a global cost of living crisis, and they will pay the price.
Here in the U.S., experts say people are largely shielded from the direct impact of higher grain prices due to strong domestic production. But the economy is not immune.
The U.S. is looking relatively strong on a global basis, but I do think that some of these sort of shocks, global supply chain shocks, could continue to reverberate and create that uncertainty.
While inflation is cooling overall, energy and food prices still remain stubbornly high, and the U.S. Federal Reserve is poised to hike interest rates yet again. In New York, I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a warm and muggy start across the area already today as the sun rises, and heat advisories for a good portion of the area. The good news is it's been slid slightly further south, but still most of us with these with heat index values 105 to 110. We will take another complete look at that hot forecast, our rain chances, and a brief cool down when we come back. It's also almost time to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. They're going to come up right after this break, but first, take a look. This is New York City. They're getting ready for CBS Mornings, and we're going to find out what they're getting ready to talk about on CBS.
I'm Tony DeCopel. Coming up on CBS Mornings, actor and SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher joins us with the latest on the Hollywood actors strike and if there's any hope of a deal anytime soon. It's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Low whenever you're ready to buy or sell real estate.
Time for some Wednesday birthdays here in the 4 states, and we're going to start in Nevada with Bristol Jade Hensley, celebrating birthday number 7. Says here she is such a sweet girl with love from all of her family.
And you got Montana O. Mart celebrating 18 years in Columbus, Kansas.
And we've got Cleet Keller also celebrating birthday number 18 over in McCune. Happy birthday, Cleet.
Joshua Daniels celebrating 33 years.
And Samantha Bowyer, we had you in our list yesterday, and unfortunately, you know how technology is. Your picture didn't show up, so you get to celebrate your birthday twice this week as you turned 34 yesterday in Walnut, and you're pictured there with her youngest son, Weston. A very happy belated double birthday to you, Samantha.
And Andy and Cal Sulfur is turning 50 in Humbert, Kansas. They're actually twins.
And Rob Monty also celebrating birthday number 50 over in Parsons. Happy birthday, Rob.
Robin Baker is turning 50 in Parsons, Kansas.
And we've got Kevin and Mindy Schupbach celebrating their 15th anniversary in Farlington. Happy anniversary to the Schupbachs.
And Jim and Judy Burns is celebrating 32 years together in Erie, Kansas.
And over in Columbus, Tim and Jeanette Crane celebrating 41 years of wedded bliss. A very happy anniversary to the Cranes.
And our very own KOAM Digital Marketing Manager, Lance Benning, is celebrating as well.
Lance has started from behind the scenes and worked his way on up, and he is fantastic to work with. And if you catch any of the KOAM podcasts, they are Lance's brainchild, so make sure you tune in for those, as he is also the host of the KOAM podcast series. Well, a very happy anniversary and birthday to all of you on our list, and we want to continue celebrating with you, but the only way we can do that is if you send us your information. Amber, where do they need to send it to?
You can just send an email to birthdays, that's plural, at KOAMnewsnow.com with a photo, please.
Absolutely. We love seeing those photos. And of course, when you're on our website, make sure you take time to sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. It is easy to do. You get great deals from local businesses. You also get a special birthday message from your friends here at KOAM. So head over to the KOAMnewsnow.com and sign up for that birthday club today. All right, we got another day of dangerous heat across the area. We've got heat advisory still in effect for a good portion of the area through 7 this evening, 8 this evening, and 9 tonight. And this is for heat index values of 105 to 110 once again across the area. We also have the possibility of a couple of strong storms overnight tonight, say between about midnight and 4 a.m. with maybe some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds out there. So let's take a look at what we're going to see as we head through today and into the overnight hours. Heading into this afternoon, we'll start to see increasing clouds, and we'll start to see the possibility of a few isolated to widely scattered showers, maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder out there. Unfortunately, between the showers and the clouds, none of that does anything to help our temperatures. In fact, if you get under a brief shower, the most it's going to do is make the humidity worse out there for you. And then we'll head into the overnight, and that's when we'll see our better chances of actual organized shower and thunderstorm activity. And this is also our better opportunity for some of those stronger storms. Again, maybe some small hail, gusty winds. We could see some lingering showers and storms as we head toward the morning drive on Thursday. And then heading into Thursday, late morning, early afternoon, could see a few additional showers and thunderstorms across the area. And as such, we get the possibility of maybe a couple of strong storms again late morning, early afternoon Thursday, and then maybe a couple of strong storms with our scattered storm activity as we head into our Friday. Right now in Joplin, we've got partly cloudy skies. It is already hot out there. 84 feels like 87. Dew points up there at 67, humidity at 56%. And as we look across the area, a little cooler to the north, but not by much. We got 72 Yates Center, Iola, 74 Fort Scott, 75 Nevada, and as you head south, it heats up. 75 Chanute, 77 Neodesha, 81 Chatopa, 83 Miami, and 81 in Neosho. We get our morning started, partly cloudy skies going into the low 90s by late morning, and we're on our way for highs once again, upper 90s near 100 out there. We'll go mostly cloudy, and again, a few isolated to widely scattered showers. Most of us will remain dry, but some of us could see a few of these scattered showers. Our better storm chances again overnight tonight as we go back into the upper 70s. We've got a strong July cold front that's going to push through as we head into our Thursday. So we're going to go mid-90s on Thursday, but look at that low dropping down to mid-60s, and we may only make it up to the upper 70s on Friday. So even though we've got the thunderstorm chances, boy, it's going to feel great. A nice, at least one-day break from the heat before Mother Nature turns it back up. We go near 90 Saturday, more pop-up storms Sunday and Monday, and as we head into next week, every day next week expected to be at or slightly above 100 degrees out there with some pop-up storm chances. So we've got to make sure we're taking precautions. Make sure you are prepared for the next work week if you do have to work outdoors. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back with a look at the news you need to know right after this.
Well, stop waiting. Proud to salute Clifford Hostleton, a four-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities respond to reports of a boat crash on I-44. The crash happened on Tuesday around 3:30 in the afternoon in the westbound lanes of I-44 near exit 22. Troopers say a westbound pickup hauling a boat and a trailer left the roadway and went through a guardrail. Cartridge Fire managed to pull the boat onto the shoulder. About 100 feet of guardrail and 15 posts were destroyed. A number of people were transported to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A Joplin pizza restaurant for 10 years in the city has closed its doors. Carmine's Wood-Fired Pizza announced they closed their downtown Joplin location on South Joplin Avenue. They say they were recently presented with an exciting business venture that would take the family who owns it out of state. The pizza spot recently won second place in the International Pizza Expo with their classic traditional style pizza. They closed their doors on Saturday. A meeting between the residents and owners of Joplin Mobile Home Park over rates increase has been postponed. The meeting at Countryside Acres was rescheduled for Tuesday night at 7. It was supposed to be a chance for residents to learn about plans for an increase in rates at the park. The meeting has been rescheduled for this coming Saturday at noon. And if you're looking for more ways to have fun in the water, Wildcat Glades is preparing to host their Shoal Creek Water Festival this weekend. The more than 4-hour event will have cardboard boat races with boats built by some area people. There's also a shoebox boat race for kids, a rubber duck race, and a fishing derby. Naturalists say doing the Water Fest this weekend is a good way to beat this heat. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out that door.
We've got heat advisories today for a good portion of the area. Heat index values 105 to 110. Highs today, upper 90s near 100. Mostly cloudy skies, a few scattered to isolated showers, maybe even a thunderstorm or two out there. Better storm chances as we head overnight back into the upper 70s. More storm chances tomorrow and Friday. A strong cold front comes through late Thursday, knocks us down into the upper 70s for Friday, and then the heat is back on as we soar back to the triple digits to kick off the next work week.
Coming up today at noon, we're making hot dog kebabs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. The U.S. women's soccer team will be wearing new gear when they kick off in the World Cup. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Nancy Chen gets an inside look at the Nike headquarters to see the innovative way the uniforms were made.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, the cast members from the upcoming musical The Descendants stopped by the studio to tell us what to expect.
Plus, Jesse Gilmore from the K-State Extension Office stops by to tell us how to scout for plants for problems. That's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.